Hello and welcome to Arsenal Stage News, your daily hub of Gunners updates, transfer saga, and live matches inside and outside Emirates. Don't forget to hit a subscriber button if you are new here, so you never miss Gunners updates here on Arsenal Stage News. Here we go. Arsenal's injury picture is finally beginning to brighten at a crucial moment in their season, with several key players edging closer to full fitness ahead of two massive fixtures against Bayern Munich and Chelsea. Despite a dominant start to the Premier League campaign and an impressive early title push, Mikel Arteta's side have not had luck on their side when it comes to fitness. A series of injuries to important first-team stars has forced the manager to rely heavily on his strengthened squad depth. Yet Arsenal have continued to deliver high-level performances. The situation became clearer during Sunday's emphatic 4-1 North London derby win over Tottenham. Ricardo Calafiori successfully returned from a hip concern to start, while Eberechi Eze stole the headlines with a magnificent hat-trick following Leandro Trossard's opener. Arsenal supporters were equally encouraged to see Noni Madueke make his first appearance since September after recovering from a knee problem. Gabriel Martinelli also returned to the matchday squad, though he remained an unused substitute as a precaution after his own period on the sidelines. However, a number of significant absentees still remain. There was no sign of Martin Odegaard, Victor Gyökeres, or Kai Havertz against Tottenham, while Gabriel Magalhaes and Gabriel Jesus continue their respective recoveries. Arteta admitted that several of these players were very close to returning, but not quite ready for the intensity of a derby. Gyökeres has been out since sustaining a hamstring injury shortly after scoring in the 2-0 win over Burnley before the November international break. Although he did not feature against Spurs, Arteta hinted that his return is imminent, with a potential availability for Wednesday's Champions League clash against Bayern Munich. Odegaard is in a similar position. The captain pushed hard to make the derby squad and is believed to be one of the closest to regaining full fitness, leaving hopes high for a midweek return. Gabriel Magalhaes, however, is expected to take longer. Arteta revealed he would be out for weeks, with a more precise timeline dependent on the outcome of a scan scheduled for Wednesday. Kai Havertz, meanwhile, is targeting a return against Chelsea on Sunday, while Gabriel Jesus is not expected back until early December. With the challenges intensifying, Arteta is still expected to stick with the same starting 11 that dispatched Tottenham so convincingly. Arsenal's momentum remains strong, and with huge clashes approaching, the timely return of several influential players could not come at a better moment for the title-chasing Gunners. Arsenal have reportedly moved into pole position to sign Borussia Dortmund forward Karim Adeyemi, with the Gunners now said to be leading a competitive Premier League race that also includes Manchester United. According to Team Talk, initial contact has already been made between Arsenal and the players' representatives, signaling growing intent from Mikel Arteta's side as the January window approaches. Adeyemi, who has registered an impressive 134 goal contributions across his senior career, is entering the final 18 months of his contract. At Dortmund, negotiations over an extension have stalled in recent weeks, creating an opening for Premier League sides to step in. Dortmund are reportedly unwilling to sell for less than £62 million, a fee both Arsenal and Manchester United are monitoring closely as they weigh up mid-season reinforcements. For Arsenal, the move appears strategic. While Bukayo Saka remains untouchable on the right wing, Arteta is eager to deepen his attacking options as the club competes on multiple fronts. Adeyemi's blistering pace, directness, and versatility make him an ideal fit for the manager's system. Although he would initially operate as Saka's understudy, Arsenal believe his ability to play across the front line offers valuable depth and tactical flexibility. Furthermore, Adeyemi is said to prefer a London move, giving Arsenal an early psychological advantage in the negotiation process. Manchester United, meanwhile, are equally enthusiastic about strengthening their attack. The club has been pleased with their summer business, with Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, and Senna Lamens all contributing positively since arriving. However, the Red Devils remain keen to add another forward, especially with Mbeumo set to spend December and January away at the Africa Cup of Nations. Adeyemi would therefore have a clearer path to immediate minutes at Old Trafford compared to the Emirates. Despite this, the report notes that Arsenal's positioning is strong, Even though United continue to apply fierce pressure in the race, Adeyemi's camp has expressed openness to a Premier League switch, and both clubs appear ready to test Dortmund's resolve when the window opens. As January nears, the battle for Adeyemi could become one of the window's defining storylines. Arsenal believe they can secure a long-term attacking asset, while United see a player who could make an instant impact. Much now depends on Dortmund's willingness to negotiate, and on whether Adeyemi's preference for London ultimately outweighs the opportunity for immediate starts at Old Trafford. €50 million star goes public on Arsenal transfer desire. After Arteta U-turn, Arsenal striker Gabriel Jesus has spoken publicly about his future amid growing speculation that he could leave the Emirates Stadium. The Brazilian forward, signed for over €50 million from Manchester City in 2022, has endured a difficult year plagued by injuries, missing nearly 10 months of competitive football. As a result, questions surrounding his long-term role at the club have intensified, especially following Arsenal's decision to bring in Victor Gyökeres as their new first-choice number 9. At one stage, it appeared almost certain that Arsenal were prepared to sanction Jesus' departure, with reports suggesting the club was open to cashing in on the 28-year-old. His estimated transfer value, ETV, has dropped sharply to €20.6 million, reflecting both his lack of minutes and his contract, which is set to enter its final year. However, recent updates indicate that Mikel Arteta has changed his stance. Rather than selling him in January, the manager now prefers to keep Jesus until at least the end of the season to provide depth and support as Arsenal push to end their long Premier League title drought. Speaking to Revista Placar, Jesus addressed the rumors, firmly dismissing talk of an imminent return to Palmeiras, the Brazilian club where he began his professional career. While he made it clear that returning to Palmeiras remains a long-term ambition, he insisted that now is not the right moment. After such a complex surgery, it makes no sense for me to leave Arsenal now, he said. There was never contact with another club. My desire, as I always say, is to return to Palmeiras, and Palmeiras also want me to come back. When I feel it's the right time to go back to Palmeiras, I'll decide that with Arsenal. With Arsenal chasing major trophies this season, the next 6 months could be decisive for Jesus' career. A strong return could earn him a contract extension and re-establish his importance to Arteta's project. On the other hand, failure to recapture his best form may push the Gunners to offload him in the summer, while he still holds market value. For now, Gabriel Jesus remains focused on regaining fitness and fighting for his future, both at Arsenal and beyond. Arsenal on alert as £66 million forward targets contract. Talks stall, huge boost in pursuit of Kenan Yildiz. Arsenal have been handed a major transfer advantage as their long-term target. Kenan Yildiz appears no closer to signing a new contract with Juventus. According to reports in Italy, negotiations between the Turin club and the highly rated Turkish international have hit a complete standstill, opening the door for several European giants, with Arsenal among the most proactive. Gazzetta dello Sport claimed that discussions broke down over disagreements surrounding financial terms and key contractual details. While Juventus were initially confident of tying the 18-year-old down to a long-term deal, progress has been minimal, prompting concerns that they may be forced to consider offers in the upcoming transfer window. Importantly, Yildiz is not demanding wages on the level of star striker Dusan Vlahovic, easing fears that his expectations are unrealistic. Instead, the teenager is reportedly seeking a salary similar to the £5 million earned by forward Jonathan David, a figure viewed as fair relative to his rising profile and impact. The stalemate has alerted several top clubs, with Arsenal emerging as one of the leading contenders to secure his signature. The Gunners have monitored Yildiz for months, attracted by his exceptional technical ability, creativity, and versatility across midfield and attacking roles. Mikel Arteta is believed to admire the youngster's intelligence and possession, his ability to create chances, and the maturity he displays despite his age. Chelsea and Real Madrid are also tracking the situation closely. Even so, interest continues to grow as his contract uncertainty deepens. For Arsenal, signing Yildiz would represent a major statement of long-term ambition. The Turkish star has impressed in Serie A with his vision, close control, and ability to carry the ball through midfield. His capability to link defense and attack makes him a perfect fit for Arteta's fluid, possession-based system. With Juventus struggling to reach a compromise, the coming weeks could prove decisive. If Arsenal move quickly, they may be able to secure one of Europe's brightest young talents before their rivals intensify their pursuit. Yildiz's next decision could shape the future of whichever elite club wins the race for his signature. Chelsea, under Enzo Maresca, have already tabled an offer worth around £59 million. However, Juventus value Yildiz significantly higher, with a reported price tag of £87 million. Even so, interest continues to grow as his contract uncertainty deepens. For Arsenal, signing Yildiz would represent a major statement of long-term ambition. The Turkish star has impressed in Serie A with his vision, close control, and ability to carry the ball through midfield. Arsenal star handed brutal ultimatum by England boss Thomas Tuchel if he is to salvage World Cup dream. England manager Thomas Tuchel has sent a strong and uncompromising message to Arsenal youngster Lewis-Skelly, warning him that his place in England's World Cup squad is under serious threat unless he starts playing more regularly at club level. The 18-year-old defender, who is highly regarded as one of Arsenal's brightest prospects, has endured a frustrating start to the season at the Emirates Stadium, struggling to secure consistent game time under Mikel Arteta. According to Sky Sports, Tuchel made it clear that the youngster's international hopes depend on how much he plays between now and the end of the season. He needs to be playing more football if he wants to stay in contention, Tuchel reportedly said during England's training camp ahead of their friendly clash with Serbia. The England boss added that Lewis-Skelly has to be more than a good tourist, a comment that has sparked plenty of reaction among fans and pundits. It highlights just how competitive the battle for places in England's defense has become ahead of the 2026 World Cup. At Arsenal, Lewis-Skelly has found himself down the pecking order, with new arrivals Riccardo Calafiori and Piero Hincapié both preferred in defensive roles. Even at right back, Arteta has opted for other options, leaving the talented youngster to watch most games from the bench. Despite signing a new 5-year contract earlier this year, Lewis-Skelly's lack of minutes could prove costly for his international ambitions if the situation does not change soon. Tuchel's tough stance is a reflection of the high standards he expects from his players. With the World Cup less than a year away, competition for spots in the national team is fierce, and regular club football remains a non-negotiable requirement.